All right, we're live. Just waiting for the stream to catch up. All right, there we go. Oops. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Today I'm, well, first of all, welcome to the stream. My name's Jason. I stream my adventures, learning, and creating digital art. And for those of you who are just joining the stream, I have been, for the last couple months, working on a stylized diorama. And I've just been kind of chipping away at each prop and learning the ins and outs of 3D prop creation, I guess, using primarily Blender and Zbrush. And I use Substance Painter to texture all these things. So this past week I was working on this lantern, and I finished the sculpting in Zbrush and I exported it into Blender, and now I have some of it retopoed. I did the what's going to be the glass areas, and yeah, unhide the rest of it. Well, not all of that. I guess I should just hide that and hide that. So I've still got the frame. I think I could do a little bit better on the glass. So let me go ahead and hide everything else. And then let me rename this. Got to keep everything organized. Otherwise it's easy to get confused. We'll call this class low. I guess I'll just show you it real quick. Go to edit mode. Nothing fancy, just since it's such a simple shape, I just used a cube, and then I just kind of built it around the silhouette and brought it in as close as I could manually, and then I used the skin wrap modifier to stick it to the surface. These parts here are a little above the surface. I could probably maybe scale this in. That might be too much though. Or you know what I could do? I could just add a couple more, because these aren't, whoops, these aren't necessarily ultra low poly. I am trying to keep them relatively low poly, but I'm not super worried about it. Oops. Yeah. Couple in there. That should be plenty. I mean, that's for how small this asset's gonna be, or prop. It's way higher poly than it needs to be. But this is just for a personal project. And so I'll show you kind of what I did. I create the basic shape using primitives. And then I just use the shrink wrap modifier. And I use that keep above surface option. And then I just go back into object mode. And that should do it. It looks like it just brought it back to almost where it was. I think I can get rid of some of those edge loops. It looks like they didn't even do anything. I'm just gonna eliminate these. That's just adding so much more. Oops, and I didn't even put one there, so yeah. But that top one, I think, is fine. We'll leave that one. And the inside, you're never going to see anyway. I probably don't even realistically need to have any geo in there, but I'm going to leave it. So yeah, that's basically how I did that part. And the frame is definitely a little more complex. Wrong one. Turn off the glass, low and glass high. I'm not entirely sure if I want to do the inside, like get these parts. I don't know if I need to have geo there, but I think I'm gonna just do it just since I don't know. And again, to me, because this is basically a hollowed out cube, basically, or I guess it'd be more of a rectangle, I'm just gonna start with that. And what I'll do is I'll bring it into the silhouette as close as I can, and then I'll start using the shrink wrap modifier and the snapping to faces feature. So go ahead and drop a cube in, deselect it. Let me just go ahead and rename it right off the bat. A good habit to get into, and we're calling this frame low. And by the way, if you hear a bunch of noise in the background, there's some painters working on touching up some of our apartment. You know what? Let me do this. And they can be a little noisy, so if you hear something like that, I apologize, but that's just them. Okay, and this is mostly symmetrical. It's not perfectly symmetrical in the sense that the polygons are the same, because I did sculpt on it. So some of it is different, but for the most part, the very basic shape of it is symmetrical. So I'm just gonna use that to my advantage. And why did that do that? There we go. And we'll go into wireframe mode, go to the front, faces, just select all those, and we'll delete them. And same thing here. Delete faces. Now, I just have this corner, and I can just work with that. So I think what I'll do is I'll get rid of the top and bottom one too. And this isn't necessarily the right way to do it. To be honest, I don't know what exactly is or would be the absolute right way. But this way happens to work for me fairly well, so I like to stick with what works. Although it's good to always be open-minded and be ready to take advice on better workflows or smarter workflows. Let's see. Right there, and I'm going to put another one right here. And You'll see why in a little bit here. Probably going to need a little bit more geo this time. Because okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that there and line this up as closely as I can. That back center. Now what I'll do is I will select these faces, except that one, and delete. And I'll go to the right, and I'll bring this side in to where it needs to be. Just kind of, let me rotate this thing a little. All right, that should be us. Whoops, right. And now same thing. That is close to that side as I can. It all looks good. That'll be the start. Oops. Looks like I need to eliminate these faces. What I'll need is, first I will take these and I will extrude on the Y, get those to where I need them to be. It's really thin right here, so let's see. I need one more here. I want to do it. Oh, there we go. And I'll do, let's see, this looks like it needs to come out here, there. And this is just part of the process, you know, it's a little tedious. But if you have a simple shape like this, I find it works fairly well to do it this way. See, we want a loop here. I need that there. And then need this extrude on the X. Scale X0. Oh. All right, now this part down here, that's about there. And let me do the same thing. Let me get this part. Oops. That. Extrude on the X. Slide everything into place. And I'm just getting stuff close again. That's keep that in mind. It's just getting it close. This way, when you use the shrink wrap modifier, it just kind of doesn't move around quite as much. Or you don't have to rely on it, I should say, to do so much work. But this is looking pretty good. Okay, so I think, let me just switch the edge. Extrude on, see, the X, is it, yeah, the X. And then same thing here. Extrude on the Y, there. And we will just go ahead and merge these, center. I think that'll be okay for that. Go down here, get this whole edge. Here we go, let me adjust this one. Do this on the Z. Uh-oh. I need to delete these. I didn't realize I had those in the mesh. No big deal. Let me just make sure we have no doubles. Looking good. Okay. Switch the edge. Extrude Z. Do a little refine. Probably needs to come in a little. I'll just let the, I'll just, oop, wonder. Oh, and you can apply a material on it and just kind of give it a different color so it's easy to see. And we'll make the specular a little dark so it's dull. And we'll just kind of chip our way down. Oops. I'm gonna just hit extrude and then escape, then scale that down to about there. And then I just need to move this back into place. This one into place. And the wireframe. that one. Down. And what I'll do is I'll select all these, scale them on the Z to 0, so that they're all at the same place. Same thing here, scale to the X, 0. Scale X, 0. Let me do that with all of these. That way all these will be centered on X. And I'll do the same thing here. Let me do this one first. Y. Scale Y, 0, enter. All right. Little. Make sure we're not getting any doubles. It's always a good thing to be aware of. One will in a little extrude on the Z. Do a little refining. And it's pretty much the same process the whole way through. I usually don't like to stream the retopology because I think people are, it's a little boring, and I totally get it. But this is a small prop, and I think I can get a big chunk, this chunk of it done anyway, relatively quickly. And again, we'll just extrude and then hit escape, and then weigh scale. You know what? Let's not scale. Let's just do that. You know what? I will keep scaling it. Scale. Move that over here. There. There. Just sure all the normals are facing the right way. And kind of fudge this around a little bit, get it where you want it. And one more time, I'll just make sure these are all in the same, all aligned. Let's see, that's scale on the Y, 0. Oops. Scale Y, 0, enter. And same thing here. I'll just scale Y. Oops, no, not Y. Scale X, 0. That way when I apply the mirror mod, these vertices will merge together when I use the clipping option. And I will show you that in a second. I just gotta bring this down. Extrude, D. And there, 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 there. Do it that way. Just doing it a little more manually this time. Trying to kind of follow the contour. And what I'll do here is I will extrude on the Y, about there. And on a wireframe, take those, merge them, center, select, extrude on the Y again, and wireframe, select those two, merge at center, grab them all, remove doubles, solid. I think that'll be pretty decent for that part. I do have to get these inside parts in. I'm still not sure if I need to do the inside of the frame. I think I will, just to be consistent, but I probably don't need to. You know what? Let me do this with all of these so that I have something to work with for all of them. And then I'll just go ahead and move these back to where they need to be. It looks like I'm going to need one here. This might need to take the whole thing down. Yeah, that'll work. Maybe one here, why not? And I'll take it down a little. Okay. Merge at center. And I have a little bit of work cut out for me here. This is going to get a little complicated here. So let me do this side first. Do it on the X. Oops. Those, merge at center. And we'll just move all these. Just, you know, just refine it as you go. I think I need my one more there just to make it look a little nicer. Here. That should work. Oh, it looks a little weird for some reason. Okay. Then we will do it on the X there. And then we'll just refine it. That's what I like about the doing retopology in Blender is you're in edit mode while you do it. It just takes advantage, and you'll see in a minute here when I actually start using it. It just takes advantage of the shrink wrap modifier. Oops, I grabbed that one. Oops. Ah. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. The wireframe, select all these and scale X, X. Oh, bring those in a little closer. Right, out. All right, I think we're good. We'll probably come in a little more here. I guess I should take both of these. Here we go. I don't think I want that on. Do I? Okay. All right, this part looks like it's going to be a little tricky. I'm trying to figure out if I'm better off making them two separate parts. Because they kind of are. So that is what I'll do. That's something to always keep in mind. If you don't have to make them one, oops. The heck? One mesh, it is to your advantage, in my opinion, to separate them, to make them two different parts. Why is that one so far out? I mean, it's close there. Oh, it's like nowhere near here though. Wonder why. So that's this way. Oh, I need to line them up here. That's what it is. I think. No? No. For some reason these are so far out. They look like they're close. I mean, realistically, the shrink wrap modifier will do most of this for you. I'm just curious why it looked like I was pretty close to the mesh, but I guess I wasn't. So anyways, I'll just let the shrink wrap modifier handle that for me. That's why we use it. Okay, so let's finish up this inner frame part. So I'll take these and I will do it on the Y to there. Do the same thing here. Do it on the X. Get them close. take these, merge them at the center, and then I'll take, let's drop it in edge mode. Hold on, let me adjust this one. I need to bring that in. Now I'll hop in edge mode. Make sure I'm not selecting any edges I don't need. Do it on the Y. Bring that there. And I will refine this a little real quick. And I'll just take these two edges and E. Oh, not Control R, Control E, excuse me. And bridge edge loops. I think we're good. I think I need to move this one in just a little bit. That should be pretty good. And again, I'll just let the shrink wrap modifier do a lot of the heavy lifting for me once I get to that point. See. And it looks like I need to cap that off. Wait a second. Do I need to... How did I merge these? I think I did. Move doubles, okay. And we'll fill that. Then just extrude this. There. 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 Yeah, this is totally, now that I think about it, like unnecessary. Because we're never gonna see this part. See, like, why did it shoot? Why did it get that back one? I don't know. Am I supposed to have that on? Maybe I don't think that's what it is. Maybe. No, that's the one. Control E, bridge edge loops. Let's hide that. Just kind of get a look at our mesh. Looking good, looking good. And fill those in. Those in. And then same thing. Fill. And I think, just so I can see what's going on. Okay, looks good so far. I'm definitely doing a little more than necessary, but that's okay. Bring this one this way a bit. Right, now me bring this one to here. I'm gonna merge last. And I'll just this one in. Same thing here. I'll just do those in the Z. center. I can edit X, bring that to here, bring this one back. I'll just bridge these guys. Should be fine for that. I think we got everything that we need anyway. Turn that back on. And now what I'll do, go to the right, wireframe. Scale on the Y, 0 there. So all those are in the same spot. Front. This box select, make it a little easier. Scale on X to 0. Those are all in the same spot. And that should work for the lower part of my frame. Now we can hop into the mirror modifier and hopefully works out right. And let's do clipping. All right, now I can see what I'm working with. Now let's see. Looks like I need to bring all of these there. And all of these there. And there we go. And now last but not least, we'll drop the shrink wrap modifier. I'm going to do keep above surface. 0.02 seems to be the sweet spot. I'm going to select my, we'll do that so we can see what it's doing. There it is. Easy peasy. That was a relatively simple form, so I was able to get away with a little more simple shapes and stuff. And it looks like I should probably put something in here at the bottom. So let's try that. Let's see, extrude Z, there we go. Then extrude on the X. There. Actually, you know what? I needed to extrude on the... Okay, so extrude on the Z, down to there. And extrude on the X to there. And extrude on the X one more time. There we go. That way I can just fill these in. And then, whoops, mesh tools, remove doubles. All right, and that's whoops, I don't want to go into vertex. Let's hide the frame high. We'll do a smooth shading. Edit mode, select all, Control N, make good. Yeah, and that's the lower part of the frame done. All right, gang, I don't want to do too much retopo because I know it's a little, it can be a little repetitive and a little boring, but I just wanted to show you what works for me. Again, I don't know if it's the right way to do it. But so far it's been working out well doing it this way, in Blender anyway. I might try to do some stuff in 3D Code, but I just find that for me, the Blender tools just work really well. Being able to manipulate the edges, vertices, and faces on the fly just makes the retopo process very very easy. It's actually like kind of enjoyable. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Let me know what you guys think in the questions or in the comment section, or if you have any questions. I'm gonna finish this upper part and the chain links. The chain links are gonna be easy. I already have the low poly. What is this part? The mount. I'm gonna make use of the, excuse me, the Z modeler base that I used and just kind of manipulate it. With simple shapes like this, you can get away with using primitives or your base block out for the retopo. It's definitely a whole nother ball game if you're doing a character. But yeah, so on Wednesday, I will have this UV mapped packed, and we'll do a little bit of quick baking in Marmoset and then jump into Substance Painter. I think we'll get that far. I might have to do a little bit of the UVing. We'll see. I am working a lot again this week, but yeah, so those of you who stopped by, thanks for coming by, guys. If you like the video, hit that like button and hit that subscribe and bell icon. That way you'll get notified as soon as I go live. All right, guys, until next time, peace.